Right. Next on our list, let's dig into something else. Let's jump up here back to our delete here. So we've got two branches right now. We can kind of ignore this color sop. This is really just here for visualization purposes. We've got two branches. We've split it using these two delete sops, right? So we've got this branch where we're creating these funny little extruded things. And we've got this branch, which is all the rest of the polygons. So let's take this branch where everything, we've already deleted out the polygons that turn into the little extruded boxes. And let's, again, split this into another branch. So I'm actually just going to get rid of this wire here so we can split this off. Let's throw in another delete sop. And I'm just going to continue. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is duplicate this existing delete sop, because really I'm just going to continue deleting based on noise 1. So we're going to hook this up here. I'm going to say delete by expression. This is going to be delete selected, and let's do anything less than like 0.5, right? So we're going to split this off into another couple of branches, right? So we're going to take this, we're going to duplicate it, slide it over here. This one's going to be, again, a delete non-selected, so that's going to leave us with all of these polygons. We're just going to kind of stick that off to the side for the moment and merge it in later. This is the one that we're going to operate on for right now. So we're going to do something totally different with these polygons. Let's make these little like inset things. Like the other stream, this stream here, we've got things that extrude out. Let's have this stream be things that kind of extrude in, that create little insets in our shape, kind of break things up a little bit. Okay, so in order to do that, I do want to process all of these things as individual pieces. So I do want to drop in a facet sop. And again, we hook up the facet sop and make sure that we click on unique points. And that is going to generate unique points for each individual polygon. So now each polygon has 4 individual points instead of sharing points among polygons. Great. So we do want to do another poly extrude. And this one's going to do an inset for us. We're going to inset, let's say 0.1, that seems just fine. And we're going to output a front group and a side group for this. And we don't have to worry about the group names conflicting over here because this is a completely separate data stream, and they're really only going to meet down here at the very, very end, where the groups don't really have that much to do with what we're doing. Unless we decided to continue doing some post-processing, in which case we'd probably want to go back and make unique group names. For the moment, though, I'm not going to worry about it. So now I'm going to throw in another poly extrude, and we are going to do a extrude operation only on the extruded front, which is actually this sort of centerpiece, because the sides are the inset pieces. The front is this kind of centerpiece. So we're just going to extrude those inwards. Let's say, yeah, that's pretty good. 0.12, that'll do. So we do have a couple issues, right? Because we have here, if we look, we actually have a corner. And when those centerpieces extrude, they actually overlap each other. And that's not really what I want. It's kind of like this weird filled box. I want that to be like an empty space, just like these other ones. So we're going to have to do something about that here in just a second. But the rest of these are looking pretty good. This one here, we do have another one of those weird corner situations, so we'll just fix that. No big deal. Okay, so in order to fix that, what I need to do is I'm actually going to duplicate this poly extrude. We're going to split this off into 2 streams. We're basically going to Boolean that shape and just get rid of any intersections that exist. So what we'll do is, I lied, we're not going to do this. We're going to throw in a delete sop. And split this into another stream. And on this delete SOP, we're just going to delete the sides. So we're just left with these sort of centers here, right? And then we'll do another poly extrude. I will just duplicate this and bring it over here. Just like that. I'm going to take this poly extrude. This one, we don't really need the group. We only have one set of polygons that's doing stuff. We do want to come in and make these enclosed objects because right now they're missing a back. So we want to do output back. So we have enclosed shapes, just like that. And then we're going to Boolean these shapes with these shapes. And since these shapes fit exactly in the center of all of these kind of empty spaces, they're going to remain completely unaffected, where the ones that are filled, like this one here that's kind of a mess, that one's going to get Booleaned out with this shape. Cool. So Boolean SOP is just that. It's a Boolean SOP, just like this. And again, with Houdini 17.5 at least, if we look at the Boolean list, there's like all these different types of Booleans. It's all the same. It's all the same SOP. It's just they have different operations set. We can just ignore it. We just drop in a Boolean SOP. So it takes two inputs. It takes geometry A, which is going to be this geometry here that I'm looking at, the one coming from this side. And geometry B is going to be these boxes. We're basically just going to subtract those boxes just like that. And this is set to intersect. I thought I needed subtract. I guess I don't. Okay, so that seemed to work pretty well. So now I've got that taken care of. Let's just make sure that that didn't break anything else. So like this one, that's looking pretty good. And the rest of these guys look, they look all right. Great, so that seemed to solve that problem pretty effectively. So let's go ahead and take this stream. We're just going to, we're going to throw in a null object at the end here. And we're going to call this out cubby holes. Cool. And we're just going to pipe that into our merge, and then we'll grab our the leftovers and pipe that in as well. And we're just going to look at what we have going on here. Just make sure everything is looking okay. And it is. It looks great. So we've got our kind of extruded funky geometry. Oh, we got a hole there. Got to figure out what's going on there. That's interesting. But the rest of this actually looks pretty good. So let's see if we can figure out where this hole is coming from. That's not supposed to be there. So it's definitely not coming from our extruded polys. So that's fine. Let's look back up here at the delete SOP. So this is a component of this, and it gets split out. So it's definitely coming from this stream here. We have something going on where that is misbehaving. So that all looks good. Our poly extrude, all that looks fine. But then when we Boolean it, it seems to disappear on me. That's not right. So let's try setting set A to a surface. All right, that seemed to solve the problem. And we got a couple others back as well. So when you have a shape like these that don't have an enclosed volume, sometimes you need to make sure that Houdini understands that set A is not a enclosed volume when you're doing a Boolean operation. Boolean operations in 3D are always a little finicky, and it's no different in Houdini, really. The Boolean SOP is actually really solid. It's a fantastic operation, but it does, you know, just like any Boolean, it does have some quirks. Cool. So that seemed to solve the problem. Let's just jump back down to the merge and make sure that everything, we don't have any other like weird missing holes or anything in any of this stuff. That's actually looking pretty darn good there. Yep. I'm satisfied with where that's going. That's great. Very cool. Okay.